Kuki Shinobu. Cookie, Cokehead Shinobu. This character, the Ninja Samurai, her birthday is the 27th of July. If you have the same birthday as her, good job. Congratulations. Her astrolabe name is Tribulatio Dempto. Write that down. This character, she's a healer, electro healer, something that I've asked for a very long fucking time. I've been looking for an electro healer to be added to this game. I think since before Raiden Shogun. I think when I got my ELECTRO for the first time, I was like, yeah. Or maybe after Raiden Shogun. I don't know. I've wanted an electro healer for quite a while because you can do things like superconduct without needing a Raiden Shogun, or without you can kind of do superconduct and a healer in one. So that's the main reason. But regardless, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Kuki Shinobu, normal attack. We're not going to delve into it because there's nothing unique about it. She just does sword damage. She's a sword user, which depends on what she scales with, depends on what weapon you're using her. But yeah, her elemental skill, Sanctifying Ring, creates creates a grass ring of sanctification at the cost of a part of her HP, kind of like Hu Tao, using her HP to do stuff, dealing electro damage to nearby opponents. And then the grass ring of sanctification follows your current active character around, deals electro damage to nearby opponents every 1.5 seconds, and restores HP for active characters within the ring based on the Kuki Shinobu's max HP. The HP consumption from this skill can only bring her to 20%. So that's in terms of like when she has to drain her own HP to cast it, essentially. Now, is this going to be good? Well, it's a passive heal around her that deals AoE electro damage and heals based on Kuki's max HP, and the healing effect of it at level 10 is 5.4% of max HP plus 636, which, you know, it'll be a decent amount. You know, let's say that heals for like, what is that, 4,000 a tick, 3,000 a tick, 1.5 seconds, duration of 12 seconds. You can get how many ticks out of that? 3, 4, you can get 8 ticks out of that, 8 ticks of 3,000. You can heal 24,000 HP in one skill, which is, hey, that's pretty good. I think that's a higher tick rate than Barbara's, to be quite frank. Don't quote me on anything, but I'm 99% sure that's a higher tick rate than Barbara's. So instantly, like, it's much more attractive. Barbara, how often does Barbara's tick? Where is her skill? Is that her skill? Periodically regenerates. It doesn't even give us a fucking time. Fuck you, Barbara. Donkey character anyway. Yeah, skill's looking pretty good. Activation cost is 30% of her current HP though. Bear that in mind. If you're at 100% HP and you use this, it'll take you to 70%, but then after that, you use it again at 70%, it'll be at, well, you're not going to be at 70% because you got healed. But I use it again at 70%, it'll take you down to 70 or 30% of 70% minus that. So it doesn't fucking matter, the activation cost, to be quite frank. She's a fucking healer. Her burst, Gyoei Narukami Kariyama Rite. Alright. Stabs an evil excoriating blade into the ground, creating a barrier that cleanses the area of all that is foul, dealing continuous electro damage to opponents within its AoE based on Shinobu's max HP. If Shinobu's HP is less or equal to 50, when the skill is used, the barrier will last longer. Okay, so much like Hu Tao, she benefits from being lower on HP. Quite a weird mechanic for a healer, to be quite frank. I just want to say, yeah, quite weird for that to be on a healer, just be at lower HP, because it's kind of hard to do as a healer, but neither here nor there. But yes, she does, it's an AoE damage, so her burst doesn't heal. The only healing part about her is her elemental skill. Her burst is damage, and it does damage based on her max HP. At level 10, it's a single instance damage is 6.13%, and then total damage is, it's kind of hard to fucking depict this, 45.42 or 77.86. Now, I don't know why. I guess that's because of the different threshold of HP. So if you're below 50% HP, then you deal 77, which is a lot. If you're above 50, you deal 45, which is also a lot. But yeah. Cooldown 15. It's kind of weird that her burst doesn't heal, but that's fine. She kind of looks weird, like kind of a weird character. Anyway, her passive talents: 25% more rewards from Inazuma. When her Shinobu's HP is not higher than 50%, her healing bonus is increased by 15% more healing when she's lower, so she has to stay at low HP to be used. Sanctifying Ring's abilities will be boosted based on her elemental mastery, another scaling stat, which is fine. Healing amount will be increased by 75% of elemental mastery, and damage dealt is increased by 25% of elemental mastery, so that increases her healing even further with her elemental skill from that baseline that we established. C1 is her burst's AoE is increased by 50%. I think one of the few characters that does have an AoE increase on a Constellation. One is Zhongli as well. Constellation 2, Grass Ring of Sanctification, duration is increased by 3. You can get 2 more ticks out of it, healing for an extra few thousand HP. C4, when the normal charged or plunging attack of the character affected by Shinobu's Grass Ring of Sanctification, her elemental skill, hits an opponent, a Thundergrass mark will land on the opponent's position and deal AoE electro damage based on 9.7% of Shinobu's max HP. God, this is a lot of reading. Okay. Just more damage. C4 doesn't really matter. You just deal more damage with the character in the party. Then when Kuki Shinobu, this is C6 rather, when Kuki Shinobu takes lethal damage, this instance of damage will not take her down. This effect will automatically trigger when her HP reaches 1 and will trigger once every 60 seconds. When Shinobu's HP drops below 25, she will gain 150 elemental mastery for 15 seconds. This can also trigger once every 60 seconds. Let me drink. I need some sort of succulence. That's good. That's good. Yeah, she's going to be a good character. I don't know if she's going to be the best healer. No, probably not. She's not really even a main healer. She's kind of like a side healer. I don't really know what the fuck she's trying to do here. I think this is the first character in the game that doesn't heal with both their skill and burst. I don't think there's another one. I guess Sayu doesn't heal with her skill, but one of the few characters in the game that, well, I guess because Sayu doesn't do it. Sayu's not a fucking good healer or a character really, so kind of sus behavior right now from Kuki Shinobu. But I think in terms of visual fidelity, she's great. I think the concept that she uses like a sword whip is cool. Let's not get into objective things though. She will be an okay character. She has a lot of things to scale off of. She scales from max HP, and HP percent, and then elemental mastery just for the healing amount will be increased by 75. Now this won't actually, the elemental mastery won't play a factor too much. That's just going to give you a raw number increase by like 100 maybe. So it's not going to be that important. But the damage, mate, 25%. It's not going to be that important. She does give a bit of elemental mastery in C6, but that's also, it's only 150. It's really hard to like judge where to put her right now in terms of my mind tier list. She'll be okay. Maybe. Okay, give me a second. A tick every 1.5 seconds. That's good. A tick every 1.5 seconds. She'll be great. Kuki Shinobu, everyone. Kuki Shinobu. She'll be great. Absolutely a great character. Use her every single time, no matter what. Always use this character. She'll be amazing. Definitely not saying that unironically. Let's read some of the comments. Actually, that could be kind of interesting. I haven't read these. After looking at her kit for a while, fiddling with numbers and trying to find a way to play her beside the obvious taser setup with EM, HP, HB on Cinnabar / Dark Iron Sword / Iron Sting, I figured why not make her a playable character for at least some of the game. Sure, it might not be a best 12 full 9 out of 9 clear build, but it should allow it to clear most of the game with relative ease. TLDR, it's a HP crit set. The pale... Okay, that's too long for me to care. Kind of weird to use the Ruined Serpent mats when she's Electro and we already have a region boss for Inazuma. That's drops Ascension mats. If it was Liyue, character like Xiaoyi... Okay, these are all weird comments. No one's talking about how she might be stinky nose. She might be a real stinker of a character. Interesting. Well, those were my thoughts. I think she's gonna be okay. I don't probably not. She's Electro. Let's be real. Probably not. She's Electro. You're not really gonna want super high Electro application. There's no real reason for extremely frequent Electro application without like an extra bonus thing, and she doesn't provide an extra bonus. You're probably not going to use this character often unless you really like her aesthetic, to be quite frank. So that's my thoughts on Kuki. And that's my analysis of Kuki. This was a lot quicker than Yelan because just fuck, it's a 4-star, dude. It's a fucking 4-star. That's Electro. What do you expect? Let's keep it realistic. You know, I'm a realistic kind of guy. Electro characters are usually stinkies. But there, that was my analysis of the new characters.